Hey, hi, hey, ho, ho. I just wanted to discuss a little bit further on a little bit of a topic that I mentioned in the last video, which is having a panel on disabled, disabilities and such at YouTube events, because we need them. So like I mentioned in my last video, I've managed to work out that at least a third or more of people who attend these events have some form of physical or neurological disability. YouTube is such an important place for so many people. YouTube is where a lot of people get to watch people who create content which is aimed specifically at people like themselves, people who like gaming, people who like fitness, people who like beauty. There are loads of different types of people, and the only type of people that we're not really catering for at YouTube events is the disabled. This upsets me because people with neurological disabilities really struggle at these events, and a lot of the time they feel like they're on their own, and if they're creators online it can be a big struggle because there are always people contradicting what they're saying, and that's why we need a panel to help these people. There are people with physical disabilities who, you know, have nerves about going to events like these and just kind of anxiety in general. Thankfully we do have quite a few people on YouTube who do cater to these types of people, which is amazing, which is another reason why we desperately need a disabled panel, please, at YouTube events. Please don't make me beg, because I will. I will beg, but I'd rather not have to. The fact that I'm making this video itself is quite saddening. So I've been to Summer in the City every single year ever since it's been in a park. The only year that I missed was the very first year. Other than that, I've been to every single Summer in the City. I've watched it grow from a small group of about 50 to 80 people in a park, and now to like however many thousands of people at the XL building, which is extraordinary. The event itself has really grown, and I think that we can help it grow even more by catering to more groups of people, especially a group of people that is such a large part of the community that we have. I recently also went to VidCon in Europe. It was the first ever European event. I spoke to a lot of people there as well. Like I said in my last video, over half of the people that I spoke to all told me that they had neurological disorders. That's not saying that half of the people at the event in the whole had some kind of physical or neurological disability, just the people that I spoke to, and a lot of them agreed that we need to have a disabled panel. Now the reason I want to have a disabled panel is because there are a lot of things that I think as YouTubers and as a YouTube community that we can discuss. There are a lot of people like myself with hidden disabilities, and you'll find that there are a lot of people online who try to tell you that you're wrong or try and tell you that you can cure your disability, and it's really important that we allow people in the community to understand the difference between people who are ignorant and people who are trying to be genuine, because it's one of those things that can be very, very difficult to understand. For a creator it can be quite difficult because it's a very niche subject, and it's one of those things where you want to educate as many people as possible, but how do you educate a group of people who do not know that they need to be educated on something? Which again, it's another reason why I feel like we need to have a disabled panel, because it's educating people on disabilities. For example, everyone knows what the word autism is, but does everyone actually know what autism is? Same goes with people with physical disabilities. So there are some people who have physical disabilities that you can't always see. I know for myself, I'm really nervous about getting a disabled badge, because I know of so many friends who get given horrific notes left on their cars saying why they shouldn't have that space. Or when travelling on public transport, if you sit in a disabled seat, you get a lot of abuse because people can't physically see. And it's just, you know, panels like these can help people how to cope with times like that, how to cope in real life, how to cope online. And it's also one of those things where we can give advice and help to people who feel like disclosing disabilities to family, to friends, online, and just general day-to-day life. I mean, for example, we have panels for mental health, LGBTQ+, you know, we have a lot of stuff like that as well. And, you know, that's a big part of the community, and so is the disabled community. So this is basically just me saying, please allow us to have a disabled panel at Summer in the City and at VidCon. I personally would love to be on one of those panels. I'd like to think I have a decent amount of knowledge for online and offline, and I know so many other people, YouTuber wise, who have spoken to me, and they're not small YouTubers, they're big YouTubers. I'm not going to name drop because I don't feel like I should need to, but we want to do this, we have the people that want to do it, we just need yourselves to give us the opportunity to do that. So yeah, please don't make the begging become a thing, because it could be a thing, it doesn't need to be a thing. The thing that saddens me the most is for the last 2, maybe 3, I think it's just 2 years in a row, I've spoken to the events people of Summer in the City, and they've always said, yeah, sure Crystal, we'll make sure we get a disabled panel and you can be on it. And I'm like, yay, great. And then it never happens. Please make it happen. We need it. Our community needs it. We need it. Please. Well, thanks for watching. Bye bye, bye bye, bye.